What do you mean by the moral imagination?
Well, if you don't mind slowing down, I want to fit that into
Okay.
another phrase.
Okay.
And the other phrase is a transcendent response. And one of the things I think happens when we look at what's happening on the planet is we feel trauma. And one of the reasons there's so much denial is people understandably shut down when they experience trauma. But there is a cycle that goes from trauma through awareness to resilient coping. And there's certain things that are really helpful in moving that cycle
Mm-hmm.
along. And at a certain point, resilient coping becomes bigger than the phrase resilient coping. And people are in what I call a transcendent response. And there's several of them. One is active engagement in a beloved community, which is what we've been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Another is bliss or awe or wonder. And I think that bliss and awe are sort of antidotes to the despair and the frustration that any of us face when we work on something hard. And believe me, working to change fossil fuel companies is pretty hard work.
Uh-huh.
Then another thing I say that really does happen to people is they grow their moral imagination. And I define that as the ability to truly understand how the world looks from another living being's point of view. And I include in living being the bee and the mosquito and the rattlesnake and the
Mm-hmm.
badger, not just human beings. And so, for example, Joanna Macy has a wonderful moral imagination exercise where she has a council of all beings, and a person is appointed to represent the point of view of the hawk, and another to represent the point of view of the river, and another to represent the point of view of the rancher, and
Mm-hmm.
another the point of view of the fox.
Mm-hmm.
And they sit around a table and discuss whether or not a certain situation should be allowed to occur or should be made to occur and so on. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a moral imagination exercise.